Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Karthik. Good morning. How are you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Karthik only is there, right? Okay.
Yes, sir. We can wait for 5 more minutes.
Pardon, Karthik? Yeah, I can.
Welcome.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, sir. So let them wait for 5 minutes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Right. Right.
Yes.
Another 2 minutes will start, Karthik. Yeah. Okay. I think we start the session. Good morning. Good morning, Karthik is there. Yes.
Good morning, sir.
So yes, today we'll start the new subject actually, right? That international business management, MSPL 24. This is the subject we'll discuss today, right? Before going to the subject, I think Karthik will tell about any idea about international business management, IBM, what it normally deals with, what is the subject? Yeah.
Trading of goods and service to other countries.
Which one? Bring
So trading of goods and service to the
trading up good of services
crossing
to.
the borders to the other countries.
Okay, great. So we'll discuss the basics things, and a lot of things are there. So uh, we'll discuss the various PPTs and everything, right? Files and a lot of things we'll share it now, right? Okay, just wait a minute. I'll share the PPT. My voice is audible, no? Karthik?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Oh, any disturbances there?
No.
Okay, okay, great. So I'll share the PPT. Yes. So whether its PPT is visible? Karthik is visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Okay, international business, right? Business management. International business may be defined simply as business transactions that takes place across national borders. As Karthik told about that, yes, nearly all business enterprise, large and small, are inspired to carry on business across the globe. Yes, to carry the business, maybe it's very small or big and everything across the globe. This may include purchase of raw materials from foreign suppliers, assembling the products from components made in several countries, or selling the products or services to the customers in other nations. So it's internalization. International business management is sometimes called as globalization, internationalization, international trade, right? Various names normally we called as international business management. So kindly note down this one of the simplest and finest definition for international business. What do you mean by international business? Okay. Next one. Yes, other definitions we'll discuss now. Various definitions and everything we discuss. International business field, it's called as IB, normally international business, shortly called as IB, is concerned with the issues facing international companies and governments in dealing with all type of cross-border transactions. Important thing, cross-border transactions, kindly note order transactions. And it also involves all business transactions that involves two or more countries. Yes, then only it will happen. Otherwise, nothing will happen. Suppose India and US, right? India and China, China and India. So between two countries, the very simple thing is a mutual relationship between countries, right? Then only the international trade or international business will carry out. The transaction will be carried out, right? Next one. IB consists of transactions that are devised and carry out across borders to satisfy the objectives of individuals and organizations. Yes, very important thing is satisfaction level. So if transaction is taking care, definitely the satisfaction should be there. Otherwise, the international business won't carry out, right? The transaction won't carry out. If it's not a mutual relationship or a mutual transaction doesn't happen, it won't take place. IB consists of those activities, private and public enterprises, that involves the movement across national boundaries of goods and services, resource, knowledge, or skills. So this is about the thing. Various definitions for IB, international business. Right. Next one. Yeah. International business or international trade or foreign trade is of two kinds. Import trade, export trade, right? So normally, yes, we discuss about the international business, transaction of goods from one country to other country. If two countries or more countries are there, then the transaction international business will take place, right? So import trade and export trade. So what do you mean by import trade and export trade? So at least we should know that import trade, if the seller is abroad and the buyer is in the home country, it is an import trade. When the seller is in the home country and buyer is in the foreign country, it is export trade. So various trades, normal two trades normally happen in the business, right? So it should, however, be noted that what is import trade for us, export trade for some other country, and vice versa. In foreign trade, seller is known as exporter and buyer is known as importer. It is activity of the importer and exporter which are mostly concerned with international business or foreign trade. International trade could also be divided into visible trade and invisible trade. So these are the trades normally, import trade and export trade. At least you should know this basic concepts. What are the trades involved in international business? Okay. Next, I'll move next slide. Yes, this one, foreign exchange and exchange rate. See, this is more two things commonly used in the international business also. Apart from this trades, international business deals with the foreign exchange and exchange rates and everything, right? See this. You know, from one country to another, and when there's a movement of goods and services from country to another country, the money participating to one country moves from that country to the other country by means of payment of goods and services. Payment, right? Under such circumstances, the seller country receives the money of the buyer country's currency, which is to be converted into seller country's currency to enable the seller to manufacture the goods for further exports. Nothing but like a rupee and dollar, India and the US, and rupee and euro, right? Rupee and yen. So these are the examples for the foreign exchange, how it happens between the import and export, right? See that? So very simple thing is the money pertaining to one country moves from that country to other country by means of payment of goods and services. That is a foreign exchange. You should know the concept. What is the concept in the foreign exchange? Yes. Next, exchange rate. The rate at which one country is converted to another currency is called as exchange rate. Exchange rate can be quoted in two ways, namely direct rate and indirect rate. Direct rate, the variable unit of home currency, is quoted per unit of foreign currency. In indirect rate, the foreign currency is quoted against per unit of the home currency. So this is exchange rate in international business, right? So these are the two concepts plays an important role in this: foreign exchange and exchange rate. Clear? Right. I'll move to the next. Almost. This is a basic concepts there. Next one, concept of international business. What are the main concepts? Okay. The international business is totally influenced by a forex market, which is in turn depending on the volume and the intensity within which the forex markets are operating in different parts of the globe. The average volume of foreign exchange that takes place in different forex markets in different centers to influence the forex rate, and in turn the exchange rate, which serves as a crucial indicator for persons engaged in the international business. Right? So forex plays an important role concept of international business. Next one, yes. See this concept of international business and international trade, exports of goods and services by the firm to a foreign-based buyer. International marketing, there are various concepts used normally. International marketing, international investments, international management, international business, global business. So international marketing, it focuses on the firm level marketing, practices across the border, including market identification and targeting, entry mode selection, and marketing mix and strategic decisions to compete in international markets. You know that international marketing, normally marketing mix and strategic decisions, strategic management also plays an important role in the international marketing, right? International investments, cross-border transfer of resources to carry out business activities. International management, application of management concepts and techniques in a cross-country environment, and adaptation to different social, cultural, economical, legal, political, and technological environments. So this is about the international management. International management, it talks about all the things, right? Like political, social, legal, cultural, right? Economic. So everything comes there, like most probably towards the um, one country's culture and everything, right? Next, international business. All those business activities which involves cross-border transaction of goods, services, and resources between two or more nations. Global business, conduct of business activities in several countries using a highly coordinated and single strategy across the world. So this is one of the normal concepts, how it evolves concepts in international business, right? Forex plays an important role, and various things like international marketing, international investments, international management, international business, and global business. So kindly note down this. So I will next slide now. So in this subject, I plan to cover all the points in international business, because some points are needed also, right? So I will share the different PPTs also in between. So to cover all the important concepts in introduction of international business, because you people should know all the points, what are the important things covered in international business management, right? So kindly note down this. Next one, I'll put next slide. Reasons for international business expansion. Why this international business expansion? Market seeking motives, marketing opportunities due to life cycles, uniqueness of product or service, economic motives, that's profitability, achieving economies of scale, spreading R&D cost, strategic motives, growth, risk spread. So a risk spread is a global reach actually. So international business expansion, mainly achieving the economies of scale, profitability, right? And even the life cycle will be extendable. It won't decline also, right? And market development in ANSAF matrix also we discussed about market development, new markets, right? Opportunity to explore the new markets, identifying the new markets. So various things will be in the international business expansions, and spreading the R&D cost also. Even suppose Indian products goes to abroad, right? So that is also a huge market. Yeah, anything Indian companies performing good in abroad? Any idea? Indian, anything? Any examples?
The TVS Logistics and Tata.
TVS Logistics. Okay, great. Yeah.
And
That,
Tata also, sir.
Tata, great. Okay, right. Any other? What about hotels, hotel industry? Hotel,
I think
restaurants.
some small hotels, maybe small hotels will be in foreign
Okay.
countries.
Okay, right. What about Talapakatti, Saranabhavan? Yes, they are focusing international business expansion, right? Initially, they are the domestic one, right? Now they have become an international player. Are you accepting?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because in many countries, in many main cities, they have this thing
Yes.
where more South Indian peoples are concentrated, where
Yes.
they installed such hotels.
Definitely, probably yes. Because a lot of Indians are there, as you rightly told about that. So Indian companies expansion mode is increased actually. So maybe that restaurants, hotels, right? A huge business because people are there. Suppose think about California. Indians are there. It looks like India only. It looks like a Chennai only. So all the Tamil people are there in California. So definitely there is opportunity, because even that Indians also, right? Those who are living in California, they want to try to bring our companies also, bring our hotels also, because the taste, the culture, right? So that is one of the, that is the cultural environment plays an important role also. So these are various reasons for international business expansion. Yeah. Next one, types of international business. Export import trade, foreign direct investment, licensing, franchising, management contracts. Yeah. International business versus domestic business. Yes, international business can differ from domestic business for a number of reasons, including the following things. The countries involved may use different currencies, forcing at least one party to convert currency to another. The legal system of the countries may differ, forcing one or more parties to adjust their practices to comply with local law. The culture of the countries may differ, forcing each party to adjust its behavior to meet the expectations of the other. The availability of the resources differs by country. The way products are produced and the type of products that are produced vary among countries. So various types of international business, and What is the difference between international business and domestic business? Nothing but a very simple thing: currency and the legal issues. Every party should follow according to the country. So kindly note down some of the important points here. Yes, and yeah. So other concepts are also there, right? Liberalization, privatization, right? So these are also the way to expand the international business, right? Liberalization in general, liberalization refers to relaxation of government restriction, usually in areas of social or economic policy. In some contexts, this process or concept is often, but not always, referred to as deregulation. Most often, the term used to refer economic liberalization, especially trade liberalization or capital market liberalization. Although economic liberalization is often associated with the privatization, the two can be quite separate process. The economic liberalization in India refers to an ongoing economic reforms in India start in the year 1991. So these are the concepts: liberalization. Privatization, yes. Privatization means a transfer of ownership and or management of an enterprise from the public sector to the private sector. It also means the withdrawal of state from an industry or sector, partially or fully. Another dimension of privatization is opening up on industry that has been reserved for public sector to the private sector. So these are the Dr. S. Jain focused on 11 ways of privatizations. There are different ways achieving the privatization. Also, he mentioned that one of the important ways of privatization is divestiture or privatization of ownership through the sale of equity. Another way of privatization is contracting. Another option for the government is to withdraw from the provision of certain goods and services, leaving them wholly or partly to the private sector. Privatization may also take the form of privatization of management using leases and management contracts. So privatization, how privatization happens. The important ways of privatization are the following: divestiture, denationalization, contracting, franchising, government withdrawing, privatization of management, right? Liquidation benefits of privatization. Privatization benefits the society in several ways. Some of them are reduces the fiscal burden, enables the government to mop up the funds, results in better management of the enterprise, and encourage the entrepreneurship. So these are the benefits of privatization. Why privatization is needed, that's also important here. So kindly note down what are the concepts involved here. Is clear? So kindly note down liberalization, privatization. So these are the basic ideas involved in this international business. Okay. I will move to the other slide also. I will show you other slide of the international business. So kindly note down up to this. So you will get an idea about the international business. So now I think you know the definition and import trade, export trade. What are the IB, international business? Other definitions like cross-border transactions, right? And foreign exchange, exchange rate, right? Concepts of international business like forex, important of forex, and important of currency in one country to other country, right? And liberalization, privatization, So international business versus domestic business and various types of privatization. I think now you got an idea about this international business, everyone?
Yes.
Yes. So at least you should know that what are the things involved. Then you can able to write your views also. Because I think you people also knows about that. So now I think you got an idea, basic idea. I will go to the one more slide. That's also a basic things involved here. I'll share one more. Thing. Just a minute. Yeah. So you can able to see this.
Yes, sir. Able to.
Yeah, you can able to see this. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So see this again.
It's
In
a
detail,
new slide
I
or
want
old
to
one? New slide is
focus.
not same, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Karthik,
So you are saying new slide now, sir?
which one?
No, you are putting now new slide or already we are seeing that.
Hello. Can you hear me?
No, sir. Now you are putting the new. Yes, sir. Now you are putting a new slide or already what you are
New one.
that
New
you are
one.
asking, sir.
New one. Right?
New one will not. No, sir. New one.
New one is not there.
The slide is printed, sir.
Okay, I will check it out.
The new one is not.
I will check it out. Just a minute, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Now it's okay.
Yeah, okay, sir. We're able to view the new slide.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Please. I think it's freeze actually. Yeah. Right. So see this. Again, what is international business? It's mentioned here. For a better understanding, we already seen some definitions and everything. Again, I want to, because it's one of the beautiful slide, a very simple concepts. In a nutshell, they given about the international business on the whole view actually. So that's the reason I want to share with you people. It's one of the beautiful slide. International business again, exchange of goods and services, resources, knowledge, skills among individuals, and business in two or more countries. Yeah. Transactions that are carried out across national borders to satisfy objectives of individuals and organizations. All commercial transactions take place between two or more countries, like private, government, private and public, sales, investments, logistics, even transportation. Yes, transportation, you know that, even shipping, flight, right? So a lot of things will be there in deals with international business, especially ship and flight plays an important role in terms of cargo, carry out the things in international business, right? So kindly note down this. You can write this definition along with that definitions. So it will be suitable for you. Yeah, logistics, transportation, all commercial transactions takes place. So nature, accurate information, timely, the nature of the international business, the size of the international business, market segmentation. International markets have more potential than the domestic markets. So it's one of the nature of IB, international business. Yeah. Scope, international marketing, international finance and investments, global HR. Yes. So see this international marketing we also talked about in concepts and everything. International marketing, international finance and investments. That is also a separate topic will be there. International financial management, how to handle, because the currency plays an important forex, foreign exchange rates, right? So that plays an important role, and Sensex also, right? Foreign exchange and global HR. So nowadays, the term global HR also plays an important role in international business, because the recruitment happens, the company dealings, everything happens the global HR. Right? So these are the various scopes in international business. The features: large-scale operations, integration of economies dominated by developed countries and MNCs, benefits to the participating countries, keen competition, special role of science and technology, and international restrictions. These are features of IB, international business. Importance, maybe it's also got as advantage. In foreign exchange, optimum utilization of resources, achieve its objectives, to spread the business risk, improve organization efficiency, get benefits from the government, expand and diversify, okay? Increase competitive capacity, increase the competitive capacity. Yeah. So these are some of the importance. Approaches of IB, kindly note it down. What is the IB approaches? What are the IB approaches? International business approaches. Ethnocentric. So these are the 4 centrics normally used in international business. They are called as the centric model. They are called as the approaches. So kindly note down, all are same. So kindly note down this important topic in the IB. Approaches of IB. So one by one we'll see: ethnocentric, polycentric, regiocentric, geocentric. See this ethnocentric approach. What do you mean by ethnocentric approach? Under this approach, target market its own country. Excessive production will export due to change in customer taste and preferences. See, very simple thing, very simple concept. Ethnocentric, you should know that. What do you mean by ethnocentric? Target market its own country only under this approach. Excessive production takes place, will export due to change in customer taste and preference. Clear? So kindly note it down. Ethnocentric. What do you mean by ethnocentric approach? Next, polycentric approach. Under this approach, the company customizes the marketing mix to meet the taste, performance, and needs of the customers of each international market. Under this approach, the company customizes the marketing mix to meet the taste, performance, and needs of the customers of each international market. So, if people know that marketing mix, right? One second, anybody can tell what is the marketing mix? Because sometimes it's called as a global marketing mix also, right? International marketing mix also according to international. Anyone can tell me about that in the order wise? Marketing mix. I think you people studied marketing management. Once again, I'm focusing on that. Yeah. Anyone can tell me.
Cost, convenience.
Marketing mix, Karthik. Marketing mix. Yeah. What are the four convenience, cost? You are talking about convenience. Okay. Marketing mix. What about marketing mix? Anyone? Yeah. I think you were talking about the different one, Karthik. Yeah. Yeah, I think you people completed marketing management, right? Marketing management.
So that is the
What?
product price placement.
Yeah. That's what I'm asking. 4 P's, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What is
Product
that?
price placement and promotion.
Product price.
Sir, the McCarthy.
Which one, bro?
I think that is something Karthik McCarthy process or something, sir.
McCarthy processor. Which one? Marketing mix, huh?
Yes, sir. That is a Jerome McCarthy something.
Okay. No, normally marketing mix is 4 P's, and one more 3 P's are there.
Yes, that is product price,
Ah,
placement and promotion.
yeah. What is the other 3 P? What is the 5, 6, 7? First 4 is right. Karthik is rightly told about that. Product, price, place or placement, promotion, right? Place is also called as location. You know that, no? Distribution sub channels will take place there. Yes. Any other? After promotion, which one is important?
Process.
Evidence, people, and process.
Yes. Yes. People, process, physical evidence. Yes, rightly told about that. People, process, and physical evidence. And one more piece also there. I told about that, packaging. Packaging is also important, right? So even packaging plays an important role now. Also, like international business like Amazon, everything, right? You can send the products through Amazon also. I think you know that, right? From India, you can send the products to your friends or relatives, right? To US or UK, anything. Amazon will take care also. So packaging, the importance of packaging, that is also nice, because here you see that the companies customizes the marketing mix. See that to meet the taste, performance, and needs of the customers of each international market. So they focus on the international global marketing mix or international marketing mix, and they act on that. That is a polycentric approach. So kindly note it down. What do you mean by ethnocentric approach and polycentric approach? So kindly note down ethnocentric approach. This one, target market its own country, right? Excessive production will export due to change in customer taste preference. Polycentric approach customizes the marketing mix Next one, regiocentric approach. Under this approach, the company operating successfully in a foreign country thinks of exporting other neighboring countries of the host country. At this stage, the concerned subsidiary considers the regional environment, such as laws, legal procedures, right? Legal issues, culture, etc. For formulating the regiocentric, the company operating successfully in a foreign country thinks of exporting other neighboring countries also the host country. So that is a regiocentric approach. So they should be well versed in formulating the policies and strategies according to the country. So that is very important. Not only just starting the business in one country to other country, you should always focus on the legal issues and everything and policies also. Right. So kindly note it down. Ethnocentric, polycentric, regiocentric. Very important approaches in IB. If you don't know, nothing will happen. Yes, people should know about these concepts. Yeah, geocentric approach. Under this approach, the company analyzes the taste, preference, and needs of the customers in all foreign markets, and then adopts a standardized for all the foreign markets. See that. Under this approach, the company analyzes the taste, preference, and need of the customers in all foreign markets, and then adopts a standardized marketing mix for all the foreign markets. Right? So this is geocentric approach. So always focus on the marketing mix also, right? Why I'm telling that's very important. Marketing plays a vital role actually, and even 3Cs also we told about that. Customer, company, competitors also plays a vital role. So not only generally the 4P and 3Cs plays a vital role in a business for a market, right? For a company. Right. So I think people are clear. Approaches, IB approaches, how it behaves, right? Problems in international business. Some of the problems also. Political factors, high foreign investments and high cost, exchange instability, entry requirements, tariff, quota, etc. Right? Corruption and bureaucracy, technological policy, quality management. So these are the factors here. Why this corruption in a place problem, major problem? Any idea on that? Corruption on what way? What is the corruption? What do you mean by the corruption here? Why that become a problem? For international business? I think most of the people facing that problem, corruption. Why? Any idea on that? Suppose think about a state and any country. What type of problem it will face?
Yes, sir. For doing the things in a shortcut way, this practice was made in India for doing, for example, in government employees, for doing their own job, we have to give money. So that is worst thing. Even in
Yes,
case
yes.
in foreign, it's maybe a little different because they're doing their own work without any issues. But for doing any extra work or by doing any extra benefits, so we have to give some monies or any other beneficial.
Okay.
So that's what the corruption how started. But it was that worst situation in India. For doing their own dedicated job itself, we have to give the money.
Definitely,
So
yes, yes.
yeah, that's type
Actually,
of
it's one of high corruption, right? And cheating also, cheating and
yes.
cheating their own people, right? So yes, great. And what about the companies from abroad starting in our state or any state? What type of problem they'll face globally, like
Yes, sir.
global marketers?
Yes, sir. Recently, if you see after the corona issue,
Uh,
what China has did that time, China market still was strong, not that was. But if you see the various European countries, due to corona issue, they all the corporate companies, they started facing many issues.
okay.
So the Chinese, what they did through their organizations, either private or government, they started acquiring all the company which are going to the losses, or
Okay.
they're struggling to maintain their organizations.
Okay.
So they started acquiring them. Then all the countries started realizing, and they put the restriction from foreign direct investment or any other way of investment from the Chinese based companies or government, whatever it is.
Okay.
That's what happened to India also. Now itself, still India is restricting all the way of investment from China, because by taking advantage of this corona, they should not acquire the companies, and they should not dominate in Indian market, or dominate indirectly the Indian politics. That's why if you see the latest news, the Great Wall, the one of the best car manufacturing company, they plan to invest in India, and they're around huge investment, but the still government not approving that. So like
Okay.
that, the international issues they are facing by corporate, because the Great Wall, they may not influence us, with respect to that, but still, since this company is sourcing from China, so
Okay.
Indian government is not allowing. Like this way, many other countries not allowing. And one of the telecom industry in China, Huawei, actually, the US put a uh, ban on using of their electronic products, because they are surveillancing their own security system of US. So by putting the ban, so that is reflecting everywhere. Who are having alliance with the US, all the NATO countries and other
Okay.
friendship countries, they are also refusing to buy their products. So they have, irrespective of others, that corporate, particular corporate, getting affected, no, sir, because these other political issues, because Chinese don't want to.
Definitely.
Yes, they 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 would have helped China, but still, I don't know how much extent they helped, but still, the diplomatical type of war is happening. The Cold War, due to that, they don't want to promote Chinese to come up, as per them. So like this
True.
political type of influences will always there in big corporates. In even China country itself, you cannot talk just like that. How other countries happenings, because in China's, all the control is from government only. Even corporate, they cannot do beyond some limits. This is what. So the
Yes.
always the
So,
political influence there may not be in developing countries or undeveloped countries, but of course in developed countries, their influence is very much high.
yes, their influence is very much is there. Yes, that is also a problem, right? As Prabhakar sir rightly told about the example of China and the country, how much of influence, how much it is affected and everything, right? Great. So these are the some of the examples and everything, and even state government also they expect more bribe. What Prabhakar sir? Suppose I'm starting a company in the here, they restrict like more briberies also happen, right? More corruption. They expect more money to start the things, right? Like certain percentage commission will be there. So a lot of things, hidden things will be happen here, right? So this is one of the problems why international business facing the problem here. Yeah. So this various strategies, uh, entry strategy, exporting, indirect and direct, licensing, agreement. I told about that types of international business, right? So entry strategy, agreement, patent, trademark, copyright, technology, production process, and product, licensing fee, franchising by franchisers to franchisee usage. So these are the entry strategies. Foreign assembly, subsidiary, local assembly, turnkey operation, staff of an operating facility, foreign buyer, foreign production subsidiary, establishment purpose. So international firm, a significant portion in foreign countries, multinational corporation, parent country and host country, joint venture, property rights. So foreign direct investment, these are the types of entry strategies, right? Arrangement in which buys or establish a tangible assets, like buying a company stock in capital markets. So advantages: faster growth, access to cheaper inputs, increased quality and efficiency, new market opportunities, diversification. These are advantages of IB. Disadvantages: increased cost, foreign regulations and standards, delays in payments, complex organizational structure. A reason for recent growth in IB: expansion of technology, business is becoming more global because transportation is quicker. That's a very important thing. A lot of things happen. Communication, enable control for transportation and communication cost are more conducive for international operations. Liberalization of cross-border movements, lower governmental barriers to the movement of goods, services, and resources enable companies to take better advantage of international opportunities. These are the recent growth. And see this general agreement on tariff and trade guard, an international organization formed to reduce or eliminate a tariff and other barrier to international trade. International Monetary Fund, an international financial organization that lend money to countries in conducting international trade. World Bank, international financial organization that lend money to underdeveloped and developing countries for development. Economic communities, WTO, European Community, NAFTA, AFTA, right? These are various communities also there, like SARC, ASEAN, like SAFTA. A lot of things are there. So these are the communities plays a vital role in growth in IB, right? So up to this basic concepts and some more things also there. Maybe after break, we'll continue the other parts, right? We'll have a short 5 minutes break, then we'll continue the other parts of the IB.
Okay, sir.
Right? Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Hello. Shall we start? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So this is about the some basic concepts we discussed. I will share another one more slide that's also very useful, and it will give overall a view of that. So I think up to this, it's okay for you people. You learn something, yeah, about the IB, international business approaches and everything.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see this, whether the slide is visible, PPT.
So the evolution of
Yeah,
international business.
business, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
I'll
sir.
firstly
Yes, sir.
discuss some. Yeah, can you hear me? Yes, Karthik.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Yeah, please. So see this, we the previous PPTs we discussed about international business and importance of that and approaches, everything we discussed. Now, evolution of international business, the first phase of globalization in 1870. So ended with World War I, driven by Industrial Revolution. You know that a vast game of beggar, my neighbor, it's mentioned there. Felt needed for international cooperation, IMF, IBRD, right? Both the things, International Monetary Fund and Reconstruction, International Bank of Reconstruction Development happens there. So financial part and everything happens there. Yeah? That is a starting point of evolution of international business. So see this prolonged recession before World War II, guarded by 23 countries. GAD leads to WTO, World Trade Organization. International trade leads to international marketing. International marketing leads to international business. Even we discussed the concepts also. See this international trade, international marketing, and international business. Right? So characteristics of international business, regional integration, declining the trade barriers. That's very important that a lot of barriers are there. So that barrier should be removed. Declining the trade barriers, investment barriers, growth in FDI, strides in technology, growth of MNCs, multinational corporations, right? So growth of MNCs. So kindly note it down. These are the basic characteristics, features of international business. See this? Even though we discussed about the types of international business, like domestic business versus international business and everything. See this? How it's domestic business and international business, right? Stages and influence, approaches and influence, how it happens, and what are the goals, advantages, and problems. In a nutshell, they given this formula: domestic, international, multinational, global, transnational. These are the stages there. Influence, social and cultural, technological, political, and economical. More related to the pest model, right? You know that in SWOT analysis, pest analysis, right? It's deals with the environment, like international environment, business environment, marketing environment. So all these activities also takes place in the internationally wise. Approaches already discussed about the 4 types: ethnocentric, polycentric, regiocentric, geocentric. And influence, export, direct investment. Even we discussed about that: licensing, franchising, turnkey projects, joint venture, merger and acquisitions. Goals: market share, high profit, risk avoidance, resource acquisition, expand the business capacities. Advantages: low price, variety of goods, high living standards, economic growth, competitive advantages. And problems: political risk, foreign debt, exchange instability, high cost. That we also see in the previous slides also. Suppose I will give an example. This international business advantage: low price and variety of goods and everything is mentioned. So I will give you a simple example. The stationary goods, right? What does the transformation happen with this help of the international business? Anyone can give an idea on that? Stationary items, the recent years, what do you observe in the market, in Indian market especially? Anyone can give an idea on that? Stationary business in India, what is the transformation happens actually? It relates to the international business. Yeah. Any examples? Stationary, maybe for children or for office supplies. What happens? What transformation happens? I'll give you an example. China and India, in terms of stationary business. Tell me now, anybody? Anyone? Or toys? What about toys from China?
Yes, sir. For toys, China dominating.
And what about stationery also, right, Prabhakar sir? I think whether you noticed.
Definitely, exactly don't know, sir. But those type of small products like toys, yes, those relevant products are China's dominating.
Even stationery also, you can see that. You can notice also a lot of things from China. Like scales and everything, right? For the children purpose, kids purpose, a lot of things happening in the stationery segment also. So most of the time, our Indian goods are not doing good in the business, in the market. So because of the low price, actually, even the toys also. So China toys will be there, and some people will tell about that's very because of toxic also. So don't use that. But because of the price, most of the shops prefer the Chinese goods and Chinese products also, right? So maybe in advantage side, okay, because of the low price, definitely they'll go for that and do the and variety of goods. See that variety of goods. Even most of the goods are not available in India, and a lot of various goods available in China also, right? You know Alibaba. Who is Alibaba's owner? You know Alibaba's product, right? Who is the owner of the Alibaba? Alibaba. You whether you see that Alibaba's website and Alibaba's goods.
Yes, sir. He is one of the biggest corporate in China.
Yeah. Who is that person?
The name
Jack Ma. The name of the person is Jack Ma. I think you heard about that. Now Jack Ma is highly threat in China. You know that because of the popularity, and he is against the government of Chinese policy and everything. Now he is in home arrest. I think you heard the news also. House arrest also. Even all the corporates like e-commerce. He is an e-commerce giant actually. He is the father of e-commerce also. Revolution, 21st century of father, right? Because he has done a lot of things in e-commerce. Alibaba's. You can see the website of Alibaba. N number of products are there. If you see Flipkart or Amazon, and then you can see in Alibaba, lot of things are there, right? So that type of transformation has happened, and price is also very cheaper, affordable, right? So, and one of the competitive advantage product. So these are the advantages how it's happening international business. Now international business happening on through online also. That's it. Online becomes a boom actually. So all the companies focus on the e-commerce business and everything, right? So these are some of the examples and problems we already told about: political risk, foreign debt, exchange instability, high cost. So these are the problems sometimes, and advantages also there. So kindly note down this. Diagrammatic representation. You can. Next one. Influences, yes. Accurate information, timely information, size of the business, market segmentation, potentiality of the markets, inter-country comparative study, yes. Host countries monetary system. I told about the forex and everything. National security policy, even policies. You should focus on the legal, cultural, and policies. Cultural factors, language, even language barrier is also there. You want to decline that barriers. Nationalism and business policy. Example: US is be American, buy American made. Like that, nationalism and business policy influences. These are some of the influences of IB. Stages of internationalization. See that domestic company limits operation, vision, mission to be national political boundaries. International company focus on domestic practices, but extend the wings to foreign countries, right? Export and import. Multinational company, different strategy for different markets. Global company, either produce in one country and market globally or produce globally and market domestic markets, invest and operates across the world. So internationalization stages, various stages will be there. Kindly note it down. Okay. So kindly note down this. International company, multinational company, global company, that differences, because everything it looks like a same only, but there is a very simple differences. So you should follow that. The difference between international company and global company also, right? Okay. See this approaches to international business. We already discussed about that. Ethnocentric, polycentric, regiocentric, and geocentric. This also we told about mode of entry, how it will be entering into the mode with various things: direct exporting, indirect exporting, turnkey projects, direct investment, franchising, licensing, management contracts, and contract manufacturing. Goals of international business: to achieve higher rates of profits, expanding the production capacity, severe competition in home country, limited home markets, political stability versus instability, availability of technology and human resources, high cost of transportation, nearness to raw material, liberalization and globalization. To increase the market share, higher rate of economic growth, tariff and import quotas. So advantages already discussed about that. High living standards, increased socio-economic welfare, wider market, reduced effect of business cycles, reduced risk, large-scale economies, potential untapped markets, opportunity for challenge to domestic business, division of labor and specialization, economic growth of the world, optimum and proper utilization of world resources, cultural transformation, knitting the world into a traditional village. So problems, again, we discussed about that. Okay. So this is about the overall view of that. And I will share one more thing. Yeah. Before going to globalization. So this is a general view, overall view of the international business, right? What's happening and approaches, why it's important, what are the problems and entry, like everything. So now we'll move to globalization, right? This is also a part of it, unit 1 only. Globalization. So International Monetary Fund defines globalization. IMF defines globalization: the growing economic interdependence of countries worldwide through increasing volume and variety of cross-border transactions in goods and services, and of international capital flows, and also through the more rapid and widespread diffusion of technology. So sometimes it's called as a global village also, globalization, how it happens here. Yeah. Through increasing volume and variety of cross-border transactions in goods and services, and of international capital flows, and also through the more rapid and widespread diffusion of technology. So technology plays an important role also here. And see this components of globalization: globalization of markets, globalization of production, globalization of investment, and globalization of technology. Always production, markets, investment, and technology plays a wider role. Globalization of markets refers to the process of integrating and merging the distinct world markets into a single market. Example: Coca-Cola, Pepsi, McD, Burgers, Levi's Jeans, etc. So it refers to the process of integrating and merging of the distinct world markets into a single market. Features: size of the company and need not to be too large. Distinction of national markets still prevail. Most of the foreign markets are markets for non-consumer goods. See that? Yes, most of the time non-consumer goods plays an important role in foreign markets, right? Reasons for globalization of markets: large-scale industrialization enabled mass production, risk reduction by diversification, increased profits and achieve goals, adverse business environment in home country, demand for their product failure of domestic companies to capture both. Globalization of production is locating the manufacturing facilities in a number of locations around the globe. Example, Jet Airlines, Boeing 777, and Swan Opticals. So, imposition of imports by foreign country, availability of high quality raw materials and components, availability of inputs at low cost, skilled human resource at low cost, liberal labor laws to reduce cost of transport, to cater to varying the taste of customers. Globalization of investment refers to investment of capital by a global company in any part of the world, increase in volume of global trade, limitations of exporting and importing, liberalization, avoid restrictions, right? Globalization of technology, latest technology and distinctive competencies, technological collaboration, usage of technology by paying royalty. So these are the technology wise. So advantages and disadvantages of globalization. Free flow of capital, technology, industrialization, production facilities throughout the world, increase in production and consumption, lower prices and higher quality, jobs and incomes, higher standard of living, balanced human development, welfare and prosperity. Right? Disadvantages, it exploits the human resource, widening gap between rich and poor, transfer of natural resources, national sovereignty at stake, commercial and political colonialism. So these are the disadvantages here. So environmental business environment, see this? Normally people know that internal environment, external environment, organization structure. See that production, finance, marketing, HR and R&D. This is the internal in department wise. External, micro environment and macro environment. It's also discussed in the marketing management normally business environment, external environment. So see that shareholders, creditors, bankers, financial, right, customers. So technology factors, pest control is also there, political, economical, social, and technological factors plays a role. So this is about the total international business environment in terms of internal and external. Social and cultural environment, culture, descriptive, socially shared, learned, subjective, cumulative, and dynamic. Food habits and international business, dressing habits and international business, cross-cultural communication, yes, low context cultures, high context cultures, monochromic and polychromic. These are the cross-cultural communication happens between the countries. Cultural universals, communication, time and culture, space and culture, culture and agreement, culture of friendship, culture and negotiation, culture and superstition, culture and gifts. So social culture plays a role. Economic system, it is an organization of institution to satisfy human needs and wants. Economic systems are based on allocation. There are three types of communism and mixed. What do you mean by capitalism? Under the system, customer allocates the resources. The economic system provides for economic democracy, thus giving the customer his choice for products. Communism, in this economic system, private property and property rights to income are abolished. Mixed, under the system, major factor of production and distribution owned, managed, and controlled by the state. So countries classified by income wise, see that low income countries, lower middle income countries, upper middle income countries, and higher income countries. How it happens here is one of the data they given actually. Low income countries, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, normally. Lower middle income countries, China, Indonesia, Sri Lanka. Upper middle income countries, Brazil, Hungary, yeah, Malaysia, Mexico, and Saudi. Higher income countries, people know that, US, UK, Japan, Australia, right? World Bank refers to low and lower middle income countries as developing countries. Higher income countries are referred to developed countries. Political environment. Yes, always political plays an important role in any country. Political ideology is the body of complex ideas, theories, and objectives. Political ideology of the people in the same country vary widely due to the variation culture, ethnic group, tribal, community, religious, and economic groups. Democracy, pure democracy aims that all citizens should be equal politically and legally and should enjoy the freedom. Totalitarianism is extreme to democracy. So, totalitarianism is extreme to democracy. So, types of political system. Appraisal of political system helps us in having an idea of political system and their impact on international business. Government may be a parliamentary or absolute. Parliamentary is open. Absolute is closed. See that government may be classified into two-party system, multi-party system, single-party system, one-party dominated system. These are the political systems, vital role in the business. Globalization is the shift towards a more integrated and independent world economy. Globalization implies integration of the economy of the country with the rest of the world economy and opening up of the economy for direct investment by liberalizing the rules and regulation and by creating favorable socio-economic and political climate business. Features: operating and planning to expand business throughout the world, erasing the differences between domestic and foreign markets, buying and selling of goods and services from any country to any country in the world. Yes, from one country to another country. Suppose a person is doing the business other country, they will do for the carry out the business in other country also. Establishing the manufacturing and distribution facilities in any part of the world based on the feasibility and viability rather than the national consideration. Product planning and development are based on market consideration of the entire world. Sourcing the factors of production and inputs like raw materials, machinery, finance, human resources, technology, and managerial skills from entire world. Global orientation strategies, organizational structure, organizational culture, and managerial expertise. Setting the mind and attitude to view the entire globe as a single market. So process of globalization, domestic company export to foreign countries through the dealers, distributors, the home country. The domestic company becomes an international company by establishing production and marketing operations in various key foreign countries. The company replicates the foreign country by having all the facilities, including R&D, full-fledged human resource. The company becomes a true foreign company by serving the needs of foreign customer, just like the home country company serves. Okay, so these are the things, right? And again, it's repeating. Okay, next one we'll move to this. Foreign companies, joint ventures, long-term goals, issuing the equity shares, debentures and bonds, global deposit receipt. So, drivers of globalization, establishment of the World Trade Organization, government of the member countries of General Agreement on Trade and Tariff, concluded that Uruguay round negotiation on 15th December 1994. According to that, strengthen the world economy and lead to more trade, investment, employment, and income growth throughout the world. WTO was established in 1st January 1995. This to facilitate the implementation, administration, and operation other further objectives of the agreement. So these are the drivers normally. So growth in foreign direct investment. Okay, there are a number of reasons for growth: strides in technology, growth of multinational companies. So we discussed about the liberalization, privatization also, trade liberalization, integration of the company, economy of the country with the rest of the world. Economy is called globalization, right? So these are the things happened. International Monetary Fund, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, General Agreement on Trade and Tariff. So this is introduction to GATT. There were many barriers for free trade were laid down to support the government expenditure. After World War II, several international measures were undertaken to liberalize trade and payment between the nations. So that is the reason GATT plays an important role. International Monetary Funds and International Bank for Reconstruction and Development were set up. International Trade Organization to deal with international trade was ought to be set up. GATT was set to liberalize the trade and reduce the tariff amount. Yes. About the GATT, the General Agreement on Tariff and Trade was originally created by the Bretton Woods Conference as part of the larger plan for economic recovery after World War II. The GATT's main purpose was to reduce barriers to international trade. This was achieved through the reduction of tariff barriers on trade through a series of different agreements. The GATT was an agreement, it's not an organization. Okay, it's agreement. Originally, the GATT was supposed to become a full international organization like the World Bank or IMF called the International Trade Organization. The agreement was not ratified, so the GATT remained simply an agreement. The functions of the GATT have been replaced by the WTO. Right? So these are the how it happens. GATT trade rounds, Geneva round, Annecy round, and Torquay round. So at least if people know that in 1947, 1949, and 1951, the first round's duration was 7 months. 23 countries took part in this work. The second round took place in 1949 in Annecy, France. 13 countries took part in the round. The main focus of the talks were more tariff reductions. So again, they focus on the tariff Turkey round in 1951. The third round occurred in Turkey, England in 1950. 38 countries took part in the round. 8,000 tariff concessions were made, totaling the remaining amount of tariff to 3/4 of the tariff, which were effective 1948. Yes. So these are the trade rounds. So again, the fourth round happens in Geneva, right? And Dillon round in 1960 to 62. The fifth round happened in Geneva and lasted from 1960 to 62. Okay. So see this, various rounds taken care, how it happens with the GATT and everything. So many rounds, Kennedy 1964. So Uruguay round is the recent one, the 86-94. The Uruguay round began in 1986. It was the ambitious round to date, hoping to expand the competence of GATT to important new areas such as services, capital, intellectual property, textiles, and agriculture. 123 countries took part in the round. The Uruguay round was also the first set of multi-trade negotiations in which developing countries had played an active role. See that Uruguay round. Objectives of GATT: to raise a standard of living, to ensure full employment and a large and steadily growing volume of real income and effective demand, to develop the full use of the resource of the world, to expand production and international trade. So these are the objectives of the GATT: to ensure full employment and large of and steadily growing volume of real income and effective demand, to expand the production and international trade also. Activities of GATT: tariff bargaining, bargaining on non-tariff trade barriers, elimination of quantum restriction, settlement of dispute between contracting parties. Okay. Next is World Trade Organization. GATT responds to WTO. WTO was established in January 1, 1995. WTO is the embodiment of Uruguay round results and successor to GATT. So after Uruguay round, WTO has been established. Government become member of the WTO on its first day. As of December 2000, there are 142 members of the WTO, and 34 countries have been observer status. 28 members are the waiting list. Functions of WTO: administering and implementing the multilateral and plurilateral trade agreements, which together make up WTO, acting as a forum for multi-trade negotiation, seeking to resolve trade disputes, overseeing national institutions involved in global policy making. These functions. See this, how the structure of WTO: Ministerial Conference, General Council, Director General, Dispute Settlement Body Council, Council for Trade in Goods, Council for Trade in Services, Council for Trade related intellectual property rights, right? Trade Policy Review Body Committees. These are the committees and councils. Trade and Development, Balance of Payment Reconstruction, Budget, Finance, Admin. So these are the structure. This may be useful for you. Structure of WTO. Ministerial Conference. What is the Ministerial Conference? Is the highest hierarchical the organization structure. All the member countries of WTO are the representative of the Ministerial Conference. The Ministerial Conference has authority to make decision on all matters relating to the multilateral trade agreements. That's the role of the Ministerial Conference and highest hierarchy. General Council is the executive body of the WTO. General Council reports its decision and activities to the Ministerial Conference. See this: Dispute Settlement Body, Trade Policy Review Body. These are the functions. The third level in the hierarchy is Council. The Council for Trade in Goods, Council for Trade in Services, Council for Trade in related to aspects of intellectual property rights. So what is the trade in goods? Supervise implementation and functioning of all agreement relating to trade in goods. Council for Trade in Service. This council oversees the implementation of all the agreement relating to trade in services. And copyrights and everything. Committees, various councils specified earlier constitute committee for administering the arrangement. Committees on trade and development, committees on balance of payments, committees on budget, finance, and admin. Yeah, is concerned with the issues concerning developing countries and particularly least developed countries. Resort to trade restrictive measures with a view on the balance of payments problems. It focuses on the budget, finance, and administration of WTO. Always I told about that budget, finance. Finance plays an important role to carry out the things. Management bodies, plurilateral agreement of the WTO have their management bodies. These management bodies report to the General Council. WTO provides more powerful mechanism to solve disputes over trade among the member countries. Okay. See this difference between GATT and WTO. It is a set of rules and multilateral agreement. GATT, it was designed with an attempt to establish International Trade Organization. It was applied on a provisional basis. Its rules are applicable to trade and merchandise goods. GATT was originally a multilateral instrument, but plurilateral agreement were added at a later stage. Its dispute settlements system was not faster and automatic. So WTO it is a permanent institution. It is established to serve its own purpose. Its activities are full and permanent. Its rules are applicable to trade in merchandise and trade in services and trade in related aspects of intellectual property. Its agreements are almost multilateral. Its dispute settlement systems faster and automatic. So this is about the GATT and WTO, right? So I think with this we stop for 5 minutes, then we'll meet after 5 minutes, right? With the other parts also, and after 15-20 minutes we start with the multinational corporation. So by 11 o'clock we'll meet. Other parts also we discuss in the unit 1. Then we'll move to unit 2, right? I think people know that the GATT and WTO is important role in globalization. So you should remember it, right? So we'll meet at 11 o'clock.
Yes, sir, sure.
Okay, thanks a lot. Yeah. Yeah, hello. Can you hear me? Can we start? So all are there. Shall we start? Yeah. I think PPT is not visible, no?
Yes, sir.
PPT is not shared. Okay, I'll share the thing. So, so we discuss about various things about globalization and what is the importance of GATT, WTO, and everything, right? How the globalization plays an important role in international business and everything, right? So next one we'll discuss with this. You can able to see the PPT now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So see this once more. Once more, we'll discuss about the once again we discuss about the international business environment in somewhat in detailed manner. So we discussed in detail about the entire things, right, on the whole. So see this international. This is also in the we are in the unit 1 at the last stage, at the last phase. So after this, another 10 to 15 minutes we'll continue with the unit 2. Okay. So international business environment, the environment of international business is regarded as a total of all the external forces working upon the firm as it goes about affairs in foreign and domestic. The domestic environment is familiar to managers and consists of those uncontrollable external factors that affect the firm in its home market. Right? The foreign environment, the domestic environment, the foreign environment, right? Two types of there. The foreign environment can be taken as those factors which operates in those are the countries within which the MNC operates, multinational corporation. The international environment is conceived as interaction between domestic and foreign factors, and indeed they cover a wide spectrum of forces. The forces are political environment, legal environment, cultural environment, technological environment, and economic environment. So these are the things already discussed about this also, but in once again in a brief format, I will tell you once again, right? So political environment, the first one, it refers to the influence of the system of government and judiciary in a nation of international business. The type and structure of government prevailing in a country decides, promotes, fosters, encourages, shelters, directs, and controls the business of the country. A political system is stable, honest, efficient, and dynamic, and which ensures the political participation to the people and assures personal security to the citizens. Okay, is that very important that assures the personal security to citizens is a primary factor for the economic development. And democracy refers to political arrangement in which supreme power is vested in the people. Democracies maintain stable business environments primarily through laws protecting individual property rights. Example India. Merits of democracy, need for supportive values, and functions of free speech. Environment should be maintained. That is the political environment. Legal environment. Next is legal environment. The legal system refers to the rules and laws that regulates the behavior of individuals and organization system of law. There are 4 basic legal systems prevailing around the world. Commonly, right? Islamic law, common law, civil law, code law, Marxist legal system. So these are the 4 basic legal systems around the world. Islamic, you know that it derives from the interpretation of the Quran and practice in countries where Muslims are majority. Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Iran. Common law derived from English law, relevant in countries which were under British influence, US, Canada, England, Australia. Civil law or code law derived from the common law, practiced in Germany, Japan, France, and non-Marxist, non-Islamic countries, Germany, France, Japan. Marxist legal system. This has taken us in communist countries. Yes, Marxist policy, this Marxist communist, China, Vietnam, North Korea, and Cuba. So these are the legal environment. Industrial dispute resolution. Legal disputes can arise in three situations: between governments, between firm and government, and between two firms. Conciliation, also known as mediation. This is a non-binding agreement between parties to resolve disputes by asking a third party to mediate. Arbitration is the preferred method for resolving. Arbitration procedure is for the parties involved to select a disinterested and informed party or parties as a referee to determine the merits of the case and make judgment that both parties agree to honor. Litigation, a wise course of action would be able to seek a settlement other than by suing. So these are the industrial dispute resolution also happens in the legal environment, right? So kindly note down this in the business legal environment. Okay, next, cultural environment. According to Albert W. Stewart and James Klein, culture consists the thought and behavioral patterns that members of a society learn through language and other forms of symbolic interaction, their customs, habits, beliefs, and values, the common viewpoints that bind them together as a social entity, levels of culture, national culture, right, business culture, occupation, organizational culture, mechanistic and organic cultures, authoritarian and participative cultures, dominant and subcultures, right? Strong, weak, and unhealthy cultures. Various types of cultures are there. Levels of in cultural environment. Not only a simple a culture, right? National culture is a dominant culture within the political boundaries of the country. Business culture, everyday business interactions, transactions will be happen. Occupation and organizational culture, it's a corporate culture, right? It refers to the philosophies, ideologies, values, assumptions, beliefs, expectations, attitudes, and norms that knit an organization together, shared by its employees. Mechanicist and organic culture, it exhibits the values of bureaucracy and feudalism. Authoritarian and participative culture, power is concentrated on the leader and obedience to orders and disciplines are stressed. Participative cultures tend to emerge where most organization members and or professionals are see themselves as equals. Dominant and subcultures. Dominant culture, normally referred to as the organizational culture, reflects core values that are shared by majority of the employees. By contrast, subcultures are found in departments, divisions, and geographical areas and reflect the common problems or experience or employees who reside in these areas. Strong, weak, and unhealthy cultures. A strong culture will have a significant influence on employee behavior, manifesting in reduced turnover, lower absenteeism, increased cohesiveness, and positive attitudes. Yes, positive vibes will be there, lower absenteeism. A weak culture is characterized by the presence of several subcultures sharing a few values and behavior norms by employees and existence of few traditions. One unhealthy culture is a politicized internal environment that allows influential manager to operate autonomous freedoms and resistant need change. So these are the different types of cultural environment. So it will be useful for that: political, legal, cultural. So elements of culture, see this. language, customs and manners, attitudes, aesthetics, religion, education, supernatural beliefs. Implications for international business, multiculturalism. Managing the multiculturalism is essential for every international firm. Spread cross-cultural literacy. Compatibility between strategy and culture. Culture and competitive advantage, managing the diversity. So these are the international business multiculturalism. Impact of technology, social implications, economic implications. Increased product intellectual problems of technostructure, increased regulation and staff position, rise and decline of products and organizations, boundaries redefined, training of scientists and engineers, plant level changes, organization structure, resistance to change, fear of risk, e-commerce, patenting, transportation, markets, technology transfer, production, and others. These are the impact of technology, how this technology plays a vital role. The last slide also we discussed. So the next one is the economic environment. It can help international managers to predict how trends and events might affect performance of foreign business. Classification on the basis of income. Developing countries share a set common and well-defined goals. Example, India and China, developed countries, those are highly industrialized, highly efficient. US, Canada, Japan, Australia. Countries classified by economic system, market economy, production of goods and services not planned by individuals. Command economy, decisions related to all economic activities, what to produce and how to produce. Mixed economy, it includes both. Example, India falls on the mixed economy. Classification of countries by region, East Asia, Pacific, Europe and Central Asia, Latin America and the Caribbean, Middle East and North Africa, South Asia, Sub-Saharan Africa, high-income countries. Economic scenario, rates of growth, inflation, savings and investment, fiscal stability, balance of payments, financial system. Economic policies, industrial policy, monetary policy, fiscal policy, and trade policies. These are the economic environment, how it deals with that. So again, for the globalization and international business, we already discussed about the globalization. Once again, we see this deepening the relationship and broadening interdependence among people from different countries. International business, all business transactions, private and government, that involve two or more countries. Two reasons for studying globalization and international business. The growth of globalization creates both opportunities and threat for individuals, companies, and countries. The conduct of international business is distinct from that of domestic business because companies must operate in diverse foreign environments and must engage in specialized types of transactions such as exporting and importing and currency conversion. Already discussed about the foreign exchange rates. Why countries need international business? Three primary reasons involves availability of natural advantage, the ability to produce due to readily available resources such as mineral and agricultural products, acquired advantage based on R&D. Most new products originate and find the largest markets in wealthier countries such as United States, Germany, Japan, France, UK, and Italy. The fastest growth area in world trade has been services, which has grown from less than 4% to more than 20% of the world trade between 1980 and 99. Manufacturing of now accounts for less than 20% of economies of the wealthier countries. Cost, the production of various goods and services requires different combinations of inputs. The cost of these inputs varies from country to country for a variety of complex reasons. Okay, so first is the availability natural advantage, comparative advantage. When an individual, firm, or country uses its resources to specialize in the production of those goods and services that are most according to comparative advantage. Comparative advantage implies specialization. The growth of globalization, companies' abilities to exchange goods and services internationally, shift production to other countries, and learn from abroad about more efficient means of operating have been growing because of technological developments, rising incomes, liberalization of cross-border movements, and more cooperative arrangements among countries, right? So these are the important things, and there are 4 factors interplay and affect each other. See that foreign direct investment results in the foreign control of domestic enterprise. Technological developments in communication and transportation are the forefront of the technologies that push globalization. Rising incomes, global discretionary income has been risen to the point that there is now widespread demand for the products that would have been considered luxuries in the past. As income grows, so does tax revenue. Much of the revenue goes to programs and projects that enhance the potential of international business. Liberalization of cross-border movements. Every country restricts the movement across its borders of goods and services, as well as the resources to produce them. Governments today impose few restrictions on cross-border movements. They did a decade or 2 or ago for 3 main reasons. Idea of open greater efficiency by competing, okay, and cooperation among countries. That's very important. Countries cooperate in many ways through international organizations, treaties, and consultations. Countries cooperate to gain reciprocal advantages, attack problems that cannot be solved alone, deal with concerns lying outside anyone's territory, advantages, and the challenge of globalization. As the largest economy in the world, the US had a profound impact on other countries. Countries face challenges as they try to maximize positive effects from globalization while minimizing the negative ones. Right? The possible trade-offs from the globalization are almost unlimited advantages and challenges of globalization. Productivity, the amount of output relative to the amount of input. It allows the benefits of productivity development in one nation to more quickly to other nations. Yeah. A downside to this transfer is that individuals and companies must adjust to compete consumers. So various things. A potential problem in the consumer weakest control over supplies from foreign countries, employment. Globalization allows the benefits of productivity developments, one nation to move more quickly to other nations. Critics of globalization contended that quality as well as the quantity of jobs should be considered. So various things we discuss here, globalization, everything. I'll give you 2 examples for you people. You can tell me on the view on that. One is India and Russia, one example, and second example, internalization of education. So please, anyone can give a comment on that. First one is in this context. I'm talking about this context like cooperation among countries, right? We talk about India and Russia. Now we talk about India and China. Instead of that, India and Russia, and education on internalization. What is your comment on that? Any idea on that?
Yes, the relationship between India and Russia is expect to be good only. With
Okay.
respect
Now,
to
recently, what's happening? Recent issues.
Actually, if you see, Nazar, because see, always Russia and America is always doing Cold War, and they're always intent to show them who is top in the world.
Okay.
But whereas the on the way of seeing the China is getting developed, and in Southeast Asia and South Pacific region, uh, not only Russia, along with Russia, China also becoming superpower. So for the US and other European Union, they don't want that type of intention, and that is the current scenario is happening. But when considered to the India, so China is Russia is always maintaining the diplomatic relationship between India as well as China. Since China and Russia's communication operated countries, so they are always they always have a cooperation by natural itself. But whereas when compared to India, they are always looking on business way, because most of the military type of equipments they are providing, they have one of the biggest partner towards weapon export and cooperation between India and China. Sorry, India and Russia.
Russia,
So
yes.
yes, so if you see the BrahMos, the one of the crucial missile which is developed, this is the fastest missile which is developed between India and Russia. So in that aspect, they are very much strong in relationship. Whereas with respect to the education, if you see as some countries like China, Russia, and North Korea, these three countries called iron screen countries. You don't know what is happening inside them. Other countries, of course, there are the news channel have their own freedoms, all those things. So
Yes.
somehow knows what is happening, but you cannot find out what is happening in these countries. Of course, some certain limit we know, but you cannot exactly know at 100%. Even whatever happened in Wuhan with respect to the coronavirus introduction, still there was no traces, and you cannot do anything there, because no freedom for medias and no freedom to anyone.
Yes.
They are restricted. So whatever happening there, we will not come to know only.
Okay.
So with respect to that point, with respect to the education, with respect to education, not much improved between India and Russia, because with respect to
No, no.
education, they are yes, sir.
Education can tell us any other India and Russia, I think it's not up to the mark. Normally, internalization in education, that international business, normally around the globe, right? What's happening? Even a new education policy, I think you know that, right? NEP, now implemented by the government of India, national new education policy, right? National education policy. In that, they mentioned about this concept, internationalization. What do you mean by that? They allow the international colleges to enter into India, and what's the advantage of that because of this globalization and internationalization?
Yes, sir. The primary objective is to get the technology.
Technology and one more thing. What is that? Yes, great. Technology and in education. Education, I'm asking. Education.
International exposure.
Exposure. Then mainly they focused on the innovation. Innovation.
Yes.
Right.
Innovation.
That concept should be learned by the Indian students, and even we also forced with the innovation ideas and everything to the other countries also. So that's the main purpose. New education policy, national education policy, forced on the internationalization. As Prabhakaran told about the exposure also is there, right? Cultural impact and everything. So nowadays, I think people notice in education field also lot of interchange program, exchange programs happen between that. Like suppose think about a 4 years engineering program. Even now, system has been changed to 2+2. I think Prabhakar knows about that. Engineering now the today's engineering scenario in education, along with the foreign countries, foreign universities, 2+2 system has been adopted. It's more adopted in Australia, right? So that type of system, that type of system is changing now. It's because engineering now it's getting downing in India and everything, downwards goes downwards and everything. So they want to improvise the thing, right? Like innovations. more technology, as he rightly wrote, more technology. What's happening in abroad countries? Because abroad countries technology is completely different, right? What's happening in India? So exchange of programs, exchange of knowledge. So internationalization leads to globalization, leads to exchange of knowledge and skills also. And one more thing, what happens to the student also if they goes to abroad country? What is the opportunity that student will get? Suppose Indian student goes to US or UK or Australia. What is the advantage for him, Indian student?
Yes, sir. That's what, as per the Indian culture and atmosphere, whenever they go abroad, where the structure is all well developed and the atmosphere is well developed, and we have many opportunities because the manpower availability there is very less.
Yes.
And the per manpower, how much they're giving as a salary, comparatively very huge.
Yes.
So these are the main opportunities for Indians or developing countries. We can call generally developing countries nations who are going there. They can accommodate very easily because they have many opportunities other than them, because they are those people they settle there. They don't have so much intention to do all those things, but we people grow in our atmosphere, and going there we have many opportunities.
Yes, definitely. Even Japan is the classical for the mechanical and automobile. People know that. So a lot of automobile and mechanical engineers preferring the Japan universities also, because they offer internship with the paid internship for the students. And if the student is really good, as Prabhakar so told, placement opportunities also there, job opportunities also there for the students in Japan itself. Japan, they are because Japan is also very close to us, right? You know that it's a friendly nation, right? Japan is also a friendly nation to us, so lot of opportunities. Even the friendly nations, right? Definitely will extract that globalization more impact towards India, right? And India and Russia, the recent corona case, actually COVID-19. What is the recent issue happened between the two Indian countries? So Indian and Russia. Any idea on that? Think about vaccine. COVID vaccine and India and Russia. What's happened? The real story. Any idea on that?
Actually, that's what was because Russia was forcing to use their vaccine in India, but that's what we don't know, sir. Because these countries, the whatever experiment they're doing, that is not 100% shown to all. Some sort of hiding will be there. So that's why even India is asking for more clarifications and more experimental evidence of those vaccination, how it affects on what are the experimental factors happening. But Russia was giving it's like theoretical, general this thing. That's why India was not approving so far. I think recently they approved due to maybe what happens background we don't know, but they were refusing for long times.
Yeah.
But recently I think they approved.
Yeah. And one more thing, this Sputnik is Russia's product. Are you accepting or not? Whether it's a Russia product or whose product, Sputnik?
No, Sputnik is for Russia product.
Sputnik is Russia product only? Are 100% sure?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes.
But what about the formula?
Don't
Any
know.
idea on that? Actually, what's the history behind that? Because it's also hidden only. It's not transparently discussed actually. You know, India and China issues happened. What is the issue happened? That Kalwan issue, right? That maybe it goes to a war-like situation, right? India and China, right? Kalwan situation.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So what happens there? I think who stopped that one? Which country?
Yeah, that time China. Actually, that time there was I think G5 could some what it calls. There was some meeting was about to conduct that time.
So which country interfered?
Russia only.
Okay.
So that time
Russia only. What is the deal actually? Any idea you know that? What is the deal between India and Russia? How to overcome this Kalwan issue in China?
Exactly, he don't know, sir, what they specifically dealt.
This force given, Russia is giving to the formula to the Dr. Reddy's. That's only it's happening now. Production is carried out by Dr. Reddy. But initially, this formula is prepared by Dr. Reddy only. So what happened to the deal has happened, right? So what happens that weapon deal between India and Russia with help of this vaccine? Okay, this formula has been given to Russia and sold to Russia, and Russia prepares that. Okay, so what happened? They told, Russia claimed we discovered the Sputnik, but the real scenario is India is behind it, and they sold off to so many things for the weapon, because you rightly, Prabhakar sir rightly told, they are the role models of the weapons, right? The entire city is weapon city in Russia, right? That much of secrecy they are maintaining, confidentiality, right? The entire city only producing the weapons, right? And they are helping out for the other countries. And India is a neighboring country for Russia, right? So that is the deal. You know that actually?
Yes, it is.
Yes. No, it's vaccine, right?
Oh,
Vaccine deal
vaccine,
is
this point, I don't know really.
yeah, vaccine deal is a actually. But what happened because of this Kalvan and a lot of issues happened? India is in a high threat. You people know that. So to overcome that problems, so Modi government and Putin government had an underdealing and everything. So they gone for this, right? Clear? But nowadays Russia is claiming the Sputnik is our product, but it's not. Dr. Reddy's product. Hyderabad, no? Now they are taking care. You know that, right? They are taking care of the manufacturing facility, Sputnik, right? So a lot of political environment. What, Prabhakar sir? Yes,
Yeah, yes, sir, yes,
political.
much,
Yes, political
much
game is
thing
there.
happening.
That's the reason. No? That's the reason they are very much focused on the political. Yes, we don't know about that. Business
That yes, sir, yes, sir.
going on.
That's why
That's all we know
nowadays
about that.
this this direct exposed was, I think, no more exist. They had already changed the
Yeah.
biowars. I think there is no more
Yes,
physical
yes.
war going to be
Yeah,
happening.
China and India is a biowar only. The second mutant of corona is spread out by China only. Yes,
Yes, sir.
definitely. It's 100% true.
Because
India
in
is
other
facing the
countries,
biowar.
anything happens, no, so something little, it will be exposed. But in these countries,
Yes.
it's very difficult to expose because everything was restricted by the government. So whatever thing
Yes,
has to be sold to world, that is decided by government only. Then what is
yes,
the meaning of hearing those news?
definitely. And you know that Wuhan scientists and doctors are killed. Actually, you know that, right? Even Nobel
Yeah,
Prize
yes,
winner, he mentioned a Japan
yes,
person,
yes, yes.
right?
Yes, actually they have some diplomatic method on it. Who are going against them, they will not they
Yeah.
will kill actually, but they will not declare that they died. They declare that they are missing. Finish. The case
Yeah.
will be keep bending,
Yes,
and
that's all.
whoever
Yes,
missed would have killed already, but
definitely.
they will keep telling that they are missing somewhere first.
Yes. So, but we see India is a high threat only. But we'll see. But only advantage, the foreign countries are supporting a lot to India. There is one more advantage of this government actually, because internationalization has become so popular.
Yes, sir.
So
External affairs now become very strong for India. And
yeah,
in everywhere,
yes,
the name and the pride of India become very popular.
yeah, yes. Among the abroad, among the global, and India is well known to every country, and they are friendly. And actually, for every country, they are friendly. That is the
Yes, sir.
advantage actually. There are so
Yes,
many
because
disadvantages also there, but one advantage is there definitely. Yeah. So these people will help it out a lot actually. At the time of crisis, everything happened. Definitely, these people will give their hands to help it out. Even France also very so close actually. You know that Rafael. Everything is a fire like with weapons and army power only, armed forces only, right? India is having a lot of deals with armed forces and everything. Nowadays, medicines, because medicines also India is so popular. Even Covaxin and everything, a lot of things locally made vaccines. So India is having that potential. So in order to grab the support from the globalization, right? Okay. So with this, we are finishing the unit 1. We'll move to unit 2. Now the time is around 40. Another 20 to 30 minutes. We'll discuss that. MNC, multinational, right? I will. Yes. Yes. See, this slide is visible for you. Yeah, PPT is visible.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, multinational MNC is a separate topic in the your syllabus. Multinational corporation. Multinational corporation or multinational company, it's called as they were called as termed as multinational corporation. Company is an organization doing business in more than one country. It is integrated global enterprise which links global resources with global markets at profit. These companies have sales offices or manufacturing facilities in many countries, right? MNCs have worldwide involvement and global perspective in its management and decision making. A lot of you people know that MNCs, the role of MNCs in various companies are there. MNC consider opportunities throughout the globe. They do the business in the countries. MNCs invest considerable portion of their assets internationally. MNCs engage in international production and operate plants in a number of countries. Take managed decisions based on global perspective. The international operations are integrated into the corporation's overall business. These are some of the features of MNC. And why companies become MNCs? Yeah, it's protection, tap global activity, increase the market share, reduce the cost, overcome the tariffs, technological advantage. Yeah. So these are the advantages actually why companies become MNCs and everything. Growth of MNC, expansion of market territory, market superiorities, financial superiorities, technological superiorities, and product innovation. Yeah. Next, classification of MNC. Global corporation produces in home country or in a single country and focus on marketing these products globally. International corporation conduct the operations in one or more foreign countries but with a domestic orientation. Multinational operates in more than one country but operates like domestic company of the product concerned. Transnational corporation produces, invest and operates across the world. So classification of MNCs already in globalization is a part of it. Advantage and disadvantages of MNC. See that some of the advantage and disadvantage. Creates a demand for the home country products. Boost up the industrial activity at the home country. Create unemployment for home country people. Earns foreign exchange for the home country and contributes for the balance of payment. Get the benefits of foreign culture. Produces the product required by the domestic consumer in foreign countries with foreign resources. Saves the domestic country from environmental pollution. Get the customer for the country's outdated technology. Disadvantages, transfer capital to other countries and cause unfavorable balance of payment. May not create employment opportunities to domestic people by following geocentric approach or outsourcing business operations in various countries like USA software companies outsourcing business operation in India. May neglect the industrial development of the home country and the transnational companies follow the secular approaches. May cause erosion in domestic culture. May exploit the natural resources, resulting in exploitation of natural resources. So these are the advantage and disadvantage. Role of MNC in developing countries. Industrialization is in a backward state in developing countries. Resources available in developing countries are insufficient to develop the technology, thereby industrialization. Developing countries rich in mineral and natural resources, local manpower, materials, etc. cannot be optimally utilized by the developing countries on their own. Developing countries would be required to import raw materials, capital equipment, technology on their own, thus they need large foreign exchange resources. Developing countries, through they produce goods and services on their own by importing technology and materials. They fail in marketing the product due to severe competitors. So, role of MNC in developing countries. Okay. Conflict mostly arises host countries companies, host countries government, host countries customer, host country society, companies, home countries government, home countries, customer, society. So the conflicts happen between this host country and home country normally. Macroeconomic area, production area, marketing area, finance area, HR, social ethical area, environmental issues, and competing. So these are various conflicts happens. Right? Yeah. So in this multinational corporation, various things will be there, like SARC, NAFTA, the role of SARC, the role of NAFTA, the role of ASEAN, right? Role of SAPTA. So everything will be there. You people know that SARC also. Maybe we'll discuss the SARC and we'll wind up today's session. So just a minute. Yeah, SARC actually. This is one more presentation. Importance of SARC and its members related to the multinational corporation, everything. So SARC and its members, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, that's the abbreviation of the SARC, was established in the year 1985. It comprises 8 member states: Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. These are the SARC countries. That association, South Asian Association, you know that SARC is so popular. SARC observers, 9 observers: Australia, China, Iran, Japan, Korea, Mauritius, Myanmar, US, UAE. 7 identified areas for project-based cooperation: communication, connectivity, agriculture, public health, energy, environment, and economic cooperation. These are the identified areas, 7 identified areas. Objectives: to promote the welfare of the peoples of South Asia and to improve their quality of life, to accelerate economic growth, social progress, and cultural development in the region, to promote active collaboration and mutual assistance in the economic, social, cultural, technical, and scientific fields, cooperation with other developing countries and international and regional organizations. See, this is one of the important objectives of the SARC. Principles of SARC: cooperation within the framework of the association shall be based on for sovereign equality, non-interference in internal affairs of other states, and mutual benefit. Such cooperation shall not be substitute for and inconsistent with the bilateral and multilateral obligations. Bilateral and contingent issues are to be excluded from the deliberation of the association. Decisions at all levels in SARC are to be taken on the basis of unanimity. Okay. SARC institutional setup: head of state summit, council of ministers, standing committee, programming committee, technical committee, working group. specialized ministerial meetings to focus on specific areas of cooperation. SARC happened. Summit and Council of Members. The highest authority of the association rests with the heads of state or government. The council comprises foreign ministers of the member states. The council formulates policies, reviews progress, decides on new areas of cooperation, establish additional mechanism for cooperation, decides on matters of general interest, right? So these are the summit and council of members. So various things will be there. Meetings of heads of state for government SARC summit. See that ultimate goal to achieve South Asian Economic Union in a phased manner. Free trade area, customs union, common market, common economic and monetary union. Right. So including the main thrust areas they find out, including tariff liberalization, elimination of NTB, trade facilitation, cooperation on investment and services, connectivity, etc. So these are meetings and how it functions. So SARC Secretariat established in Kathmandu in 1987, headed by Secretary General of SARC, who is nominated by the member states on rotation for 3-year term. The Secretary General is assisted by 8 directors nominated by member state for 3-year term, extendable, right, for every country. So it's established in Kathmandu. Okay. So these are the regional centers, specialized bodies. Right. Center of Excellence in specialized fields. SARC Agricultural Center, Dhaka, Tuberculosis and HIV/AIDS Center, Kathmandu, Energy Center, Islamabad, Cultural Center, Colombo, Disaster Management Center, Interim Unit in Gujarat, STMC. So these are the areas. Okay. Area of cooperation, agriculture, rural development, biotechnology, communications, connectivity, cooperatives, economic trade and finance, education and culture, energy, environment, forestry and natural disasters, food security. So SARC will focus on these areas: health, human resource management, human trafficking, international collaborations, project people to people contacts, poverty alleviation, project-based collaboration, science and technology, security, social development, tourism, transport, women empowerment. See this youth development, visa exemption schemes. So various things will be, the SARC will focus on that cooperation. Commerce on economic cooperation of commerce strategy secretaries. Agreement on SARC preferential trading arrangement. That is one is SARTA. So that is also included in the syllabus. Meeting of SARC finance minister secretaries, SARC finance. So it's also there. Talks about the finance issues. Subgroup on customs operation meetings of SARC competent authorities on avoidance of double taxation. Intergovernmental expert group on financial issues. Right. So public procurement as an idea of cooperation is still not included in the auspices of SARC. So the status of public procurement. So I think these are let's see. So public procurement has become much more complex than even before. PP officials must deal with a broad range of issues. Procurement regimes broadly should be based on value for money, economy, integrity, fit for purpose, efficiency, transparency, and fairness. Open, transparent, and non-discriminatory and competition should be the means to achieve the goals. Use of new and innovative technologies are important. Governments also to fulfill their national policy goals and priorities, such as the promotion of specific local industry sectors of social groups, sustainable development, etc. Right? So I think important thing. Okay, next class we'll discuss in detail still about the various associations and everything, right? So today we'll ending the session with this, right? Some of the things we discussed about the SARC also. So next session we'll discuss detail about NAFTA, SAFTA, ASEAN. So everything connects to the multinational corporation, right? With this, we'll stop. Next session, we'll discuss the remaining units and we'll finish up the international business management, right? Thanks a lot. Take care, right? Be safe, right? Okay,
Yeah,
are you clear?
thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
are you clear? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll meet in next section with the new government.
Yes, yes. I think the government is declared, right?
Yeah, seems to go DM guy.
Hello?
Are you hearing, sir?
Only. Voice is breaking. Yeah, tell me, sir.
Yeah, sir. Okay. That's what. We'll meet with new government.
New government, yes, yes. New government is there, ready. Huh? Right. New Tamil Nadu will form. Yeah, new government will form.
Yeah.
New Tamil Nadu will come in. Right? Yes. Great. Thanks a lot. Take care. Be safe. Right? We'll meet in the next session. Bye. Thank
Bye,
you.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.